We're warming up on Rocky Top and excited to bring you all the news of all the sports right here, right now. I'm Tyler Barbaras.
And I'm Jeremiah Shields. We have a packed show for you all today. We're hitting all the courts, women's basketball, volleyball, wrapping up women's tennis fall season, and give you a peek into our salute to service game this Saturday against New Mexico State. So let's jump right in.
Let's do it, Jeremiah. Visiting the court, Coach Kim Caldwell and the Lady Vols take on in-state school UT Martin. One of the greatest head coaches in all of sports, Pat Summitt, won All-American honors at UT Martin and was inducted into their Hall of Fame. The Lady Vols will take on UT Martin in the Pat Summitt Heritage Classic, wearing Summitt's very own Lady Vol blue jerseys. The Volunteers look to honor Pat Summitt in this game by stealing a win from her alma mater, UT Martin. The Lady Vols offense got off to a fast start with these two buckets coming from Talasia Cooper and Z Spearman. The defense was hot all game as Lady Vols racked up 12 steals, 6 blocks, and 25 defensive rebounds. The Volunteers also won in the turnover column as UT Martin turned the ball over 23 times. Tennessee put up some big production on the second chance opportunities, outscoring the Skyhawks 15-3. However, momentum was hard to gain as the Lady Vols had to continue to claw back after the Skyhawks would go on their own offensive run. The Big Orange finally broke away in the early fourth quarter, however, building their lead all the way up to 11 points. Nia Robertson had her first breakout game of the season, notching 17 points with the help of her three-point shooting abilities. Other contributors included Jada Civil with 13 points, Janiah Barker with 11, and Talasia Cooper, who tossed in 10 points of her own. Z Spearman dominated the boards with 8 offensive and defensive rebounds combined. Tennessee continued their momentum through the rest of the fourth quarter, ultimately beating UT Martin 72-61. The Big Orange has dominated the Pat Summitt Heritage game, leading the Skyhawks 16-2 and winning the last 16 meetings. The Lady Vols improved to 2-1 on the season, looking to grow on their chemistry and on the court. Next up, the Big Orange looks to take on Belmont in Food City Center tomorrow at 7 p.m.
Now, let's take a look at the rest of the football season and what's to come from our very own Cooper Shimlock.
The Tennessee Vols are coming into homecoming week sitting at 6-3 on the season. The Vols lost their last game at home to the Oklahoma Sooners in what was called a playoff bid game. The Vols had a big drop going from number 14 in the country to now being ranked number 23. The Vols' playoff chances have dropped to a whopping 2.3% chance, according to ESPN Analytics, and they're basically hoping for all-out madness to get in. The Vols, however, have still had a very successful season, led by their transfer quarterback Joey Aguilar, who came in from App State during the offseason. He leads the SEC in yards passing and this electric offense. Wide receivers Chris Brazell, Mike Matthews, and Braylon Saley are all in the top 10 in SEC receiving yards. Yes, all 3 of them are all in the top 10. And running back Deshaun Bishop also adds on the run game with top 10 in the rushing yards. Everybody's contributing on this offense. The Vols still have 3 games left with 2 huge SEC rivals on the schedule. They played New Mexico State this week for their homecoming game, and then they travel to Gainesville in the Swamp for Florida, which will be a huge game considering our win last year at home against Florida. And then finish the regular season at home with the in-state showdown at versus Vandy. Not at Vandy, it's at home this year, as last year we had a rough start, being down 14-0 to eventually come back and win. The Vols beat both Florida and Vandy last year, as I said, and they clinched their playoff bid with a win at Vandy. While some fans may be down because the playoffs are still not in the hunt, this team is still ready to fight. Cornerback Colton Hood and quarterback Joey Aguilar were both quoted this week saying how much they have left to play for and how they want to make the most of their lone season at Rocky Top, as both look to be in the NFL next season. It looks to potentially be an exciting end to the season here in Knoxville, and we could even have an in-state showdown with playoff implications. The Vols could potentially end Vandy's season for good with no playoffs. What could be better than that? I'm Cooper Shimlock.
2 big games coming up for sure. Should be a good end to the year. Thanks, Coop.
With football on the horizon, let's turn things over to our very own Drea Peebles with this weekend's weather report and homecoming events. Drea, how are things looking ahead of Saturday's game?
Thanks, Tyler. I'm here with your homecoming forecast, and we've got a big weekend ahead with the parade on Friday and the game on Saturday. And let's just say Mother Nature is showing out for us this year. So let's jump right into it. Starting with Friday between 3 and 6 p.m., temperatures hold in the low 60s. Right at parade time at 4 o'clock, we're sitting at 62 degrees and mostly sunny, which is perfect weather for that walk down Volunteer Boulevard. As the parade wraps up around 5, you'll see temps slip to about 59, a few clouds rolling in as the sun sets at 5:30, and by 6 o'clock, we're looking at 55 degrees and partly cloudy. So if you're hanging out after the parade or grabbing dinner downtown, a light jacket should do the trick. Now for Saturday, let's get started with the tailgates, where they start around 1 p.m. with temps right around 65 degrees and mostly sunny. By 2 and 3 o'clock, we're still in that mid-60s range, which is perfect tailgate weather. Come kickoff at 4:15, sitting at 65 degrees, mostly sunny, and by the time halftime is around at 5:30, it's cool into the low 60s, and by fourth quarter, around 7:30, temperatures dip into the upper 50s, cool, comfortable, and classic fall football weather in Knoxville. So whether you're at the parade Friday, tailgating Saturday, or at Neyland, it's going to be a picture-perfect homecoming weekend on Rocky Top. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Drea, for that weather report and for what looks like a beautiful weekend ahead of us.
Tennessee Volleyball faced number 2 Kentucky on the road and unfortunately lost 1-3 on Sunday. Kentucky may have won, but the Lady Vols still gave them quite the challenge. Let's get into it. Tennessee came out of the gate strong in the first set, using a pair of scoring runs to close the gap after falling a little behind. The number 19 ranked Lady Vols managed to rack up 19 kills and 7 eliminations to Kentucky's 11 kills and 3 eliminations, ending the first set with a score of 25-22. In the second set, the Lady Vols stepped it up with 2 more eliminations and the same amount of kills. Tennessee fought hard, but Kentucky fought back and won the set 25-23. By the third set, Kentucky had found their stride and took a 9-point lead, winning 25-18, and would do the same in the fourth set with a score of 25-18. Hayden Kubik and Star Williams once again dominated the scene with 16 and 15 kills respectively. Additionally, Caroline Kerr had her 35th 40-assist match of her career with 49 assists to go. Despite the loss, the Lady Vols fought hard, and even though Kentucky took the win, they played with aggression and ferocity that we expect from the Lady Vols. They will be hosting the Arkansas Razorbacks this Friday at Food City Center.
The Tennessee Lady Vols wrapped up their fall tennis season with the split at the ITA South Sectional. In doubles, Vanessa Suarez and Saray Yuli-Papari came out on top, defeating Vanderbilt's Pierce Yamakita and Valeria Ray in a tight 3-set match, 6-3, 4-6, and then 10-5, to claim the doubles consolation final. On the singles side, Leila Bertez-Riso fell to Ray in straight sets, 6-1 and 6-3, finishing her fall with an 8-5 record. The Lady Vols now turn their attention to the winter training before kicking off the dual season in January at home against Wake Forest.
What an exciting time it is to be a Tennessee Volunteer during their crossover season. Plenty of action-packed sports are coming your way, Vol fans, and we are excited to be able to bring you the quick hits right here on Rocky Top Rundown. As always, I'm Jeremiah Shields.
And I'm Tyler Barbaras. We hope you enjoy your weekend of football and hope to see you next week. And as always,
Go Vols!